The Roborock S5 Max. Is it just about good enough to do away with your traditional vacuum? Whilst I have more vacuums than I care to admit, I still find it difficult to find the time to do vacuuming as regularly as I would like. Life just gets in the way. My house is a mixture of hard and carpeted floors, so ideally I was looking for something that would be able to mop as well as vacuum. Being the tech enthusiast that I am, I was interested in something that could meet that need as well. I was looking for something with voice control as well as an app that allowed you to tailor the rooms and cleaning schedules. I ended up with a Roborock S5 Max. This is not a sponsored video in any way. I paid for this vacuum with my own money. There's a link to this down below which is affiliated, so any purchase goes to help me and get more videos on this channel. This vacuum sits in the upper mid-price bracket for robot vacuums, coming in at £420. This was about the maximum I was willing to pay, and I wasn't really interested in vacuums which emptied themselves because basically you have to empty the large bin at some point, and anyway, where I planned to put the vacuum meant that emptying the large bin would be inconvenient. Locating of the dock was a key part of being able to bring a robot vacuum into the house without it being obtrusive. At first I thought maybe it wouldn't work placing it where it is, but I'm happy to say it does. Sat underneath and slightly behind the TV stand, it works very well, as there is no danger of tripping over it or knocking it, and the robot can safely and efficiently navigate back to the dock without a problem. The manual tells you to leave quite a bit of space to the left and right of the dock, but nothing about vertical clearance, and I'm happy to say that it works without a problem. This uses LiDAR to map out your rooms, and it does so quite effectively, although at the same time it's using sensors to redirect itself when it bumps into objects. My initial lower floor cleaning was done without having vacuumed beforehand, with a traditional vacuum, and as a result the bin was very full when the vacuum stopped and returned to its dock. Although I was aware of the size before I bought it, and the fact that if I'd bought a vacuum but didn't have the mop attachment, I could have had a larger bin. Although the filter is washable, it will need replacing, as will the circular silicone rubber brush and the main brush bar. There are no spares, and these will be required after a number of months' use. On the underside of the vacuum you'll find the main rotating wheel, the charging contacts, and two of the cliff or drop sensors. There are actually 4 of these, which stop the vacuum falling downstairs. There is a tool included under the main flap, which helps you clear any tangles from the brushes. There is very little in the box in terms of extras, and everything comes assembled. However, you do get a protective plastic mat that stops the damp mop marking your floor, the mop attachment, and the pad itself. When you want to mop, you need to fill up the tank, slide the pad onto the pad attachment, and then slide that onto the bottom of the tank. When you finish mopping, you can remove the pad and throw it in the washing machine ready for use next time. It can get a little stuck sometimes. I think I've encountered that twice in 2 weeks of use, where if you have slightly thick rugs or furniture which has horizontal legs, if this happens you'll get a notification in the app, or it takes ages trying to free itself, sometimes successfully. Setting the system up via the app was relatively painless, although it did take a couple of goes to get the Wi-Fi to connect properly. Where the robot comes into its own and the true flexibility of it lies within the app. It's not perfect, but it does allow you to set separate maps at each floor of your house, up to I think a limit of 3. It will also automatically subdivide your floors into various rooms, although this can be done manually if it doesn't do it properly. You can also set no-go areas so it doesn't automatically clean areas you want to avoid, and you can also set no mop areas so that it doesn't mop your prize rugs. The only thing I think that is missing from the app at the moment is the ability to name the individual rooms, as you can't use your favourite voice device to tell it to clean the dining room, for example, and avoid the hallway, although this can be done manually in the app. You can also instruct the vacuum to spot clean a 1.5 metre squared area by dropping a pin at the centre of it. The app also allows basic remote control, although this is a little on the clunky side with the associated delay. You can set the vacuum to automatically recognise carpets and increase the power where appropriate, or you can tailor each individual room with a suction level and also a water level for mopping where needed. So the question is, has it made a difference, and is it worth it? Well, I think the is it worth it question is really down to the individual, but it certainly has made a difference. I now tend to run this vacuum every day or every other day. It doesn't do 100% clean, it does miss some edges, but it has meant that my floors are a lot cleaner day to day. Now they just need to develop something which cleans and climbs the stairs. As always, a comment, like or subscribe is much appreciated, and thanks for watching. See you next time.